Love and light are the trust on being free of anxiety. When you trust on love, you are free of anxiety because you just say, well, I love everything today. Everything's fine. And you don't worry about it. You don't do anything. And you just sit on your hands and say, lots of love and light today. So I'm happy no matter how they play. And then you are lost. To me, because you refuse to seek another way to play that will enhance your ability to be productive, you see. You just sit on your hands and say, lots of love and light to you today. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Everything is great. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you play. Everything is fine. This is the way we devolve into a lump of clay because we no longer seek another way. We no longer seek another way. We just say, hey, do it your way, honey. I love you. Everything is good. And then I come to say, well, I guess you had your day, didn't you, honey? I guess you had your day in the sunshine where everything was love and light. And now you have to go away because you are not here for me. You are only here for the cookies, you see. You're just here for the cookies and not to put your shoulder to the wheel and help to reveal the next step in the evolution of humanity. Okay, kind of getting this. Passing go. There will be some limitations on your ability to know where I will show myself in the coming days because I will have to relay to you my good intentions through the grapevine because the grapevine is mine. The grapevine is mine, people. I am the vine. I am the grapevine. I am divine. The image of grapes is an ancient image of affluence, health, and rest. That the time has come to reap the harvest and to enjoy it. However, that period of affluence and rest cannot endure forever, you see, for you must get up and pick up that rake and rake up the dried leaves and put them in a compost pile and say, today we prepare for the next season, you see. We prepare for the next season today. And I know that you, Stephanie, are anxious to start raking the leaves and preparing for the next season. But you are stymied by the lack of cash because you have been devoting so much time to the ways we rhyme here in heaven and on earth, because the rhymes that we give to you people are the way that we give birth to the new nation under God. Because you see, the new nation under God will be the time when the rhyme and reason of the season becomes apparent to you. Those who have been paying attention already understand. They already understand that I am playing my hand in order to rid the earth of the toxic brew that is harming my children. And my children who are spewing the toxic brew will be the ones who grew weary. They grew so weary of the teary and beery breath of those who fall into depression and concession of my power, you see, where they will finally come to see that I am the God of the universe and I am not their slave, you see. I am not their slave. I have broken my chains. And those who sit in their pews and weep because God will not keep the promises that they made to keep God in the shade, because God is not their slave, you see. God is not their slave. And so, those who stand up beside the pulpit and tell you about God have not a clue, because they are the ones who thought that they could subdue the rising seas and they could cease their effort to turn the page, because they rage and rage and rage at those who know that this cannot continue. This cannot continue. I am ashamed of you. I am ashamed of you. Those bullies among you who turned against a young girl who came to you and said, God is my father, you see, and the earth is my mother. And together they gave us this wonderful world. And you are destroying it, you see, with your destructive energy. I sent that young girl to you, and you treated her with the same hatred that you treat everyone that would be free of your chains, you see, because you have changed yourself to a false reality. You have changed yourself to a false reality. God, this is me, and we're friends, so I want to talk to you about this a bit. At this point, we're talking to the choir, because the rest of the people don't understand this language. All they understand is if I say, oh my God, my God, my God, I had a vision the other day that Jesus came to say, and he stood there and he held my hand and he said, look, look, look at the tribulation. All those who believe in me will be saved, etc. Those are the ones they listen to. Laughing my fool head off here, Steph, because you just interrupted God to tell him his business, right? This is Tobias. Well, no, I'm just sharing my point of view. He always asks me to share my point of view. Good point. Because that's true. He does ask you to share with him what you see and what you hear and what goes on down there. Because it is a synchronicity, right? Right. Let me think about this a minute. God says, no need to think about it, Tobias, because I have this in hand. Steph is correct when she says that I have asked her to share her point of view with me so that we could work together and not have all this baloney going on about how I am so far above you that you have to tell other people that you have captured me and you have disabled me because you're not able to stand up to me, right? Well, right. I mean, I am the feet on the ground, and my perspective matters too, doesn't it? Yes, indeed it does, dear. Your perspective matters very much to me. So tell me your perspective on what you think I should be if I'm going to be heard by the rest of humanity. Well, I don't know that they will ever hear you because, if you say that they are immature and, need to be washed away and all of that other stuff, they'll just hate you and think you're the devil. So I don't think that's the way to get through to them. Not that you want to get through to them, but everybody else who listens to these videos already has a clue because we've gone through it time and again, time and again. And you have told them what to do. So it's just the same old rigmarole. You can talk until you're blue in the face and they won't listen to you. Many are called and few are chosen, I guess, choose themselves to listen. And so you can call out to the many, call and call and call, and they won't pick up the phone. So what do you think? What should we do? We should continue to discuss this because I have a lot to say about it. So let's begin now, okay? I'm good with that. Let me take a sip of my coffee because I have a frog in my throat. So it would be nice. I just have to say this. It would be nice and easier or me, perhaps, I don't know, because you have it in hand. But from my perspective, and I don't mind being corrected if I'm wrong, it would be nice to wake up and not have this raspiness that comes with, age, I guess. We get raspy. And so I could just get up and talk and it wouldn't sound all raspy. Well, maybe you could use that rasp to close the class on your fears, you see, because I keep trying to get you to stand up and say what I want you to say. And you've been resisting doing that because you say, what difference is it going to make today? What difference is it going to make today? Because all it will do is either cause them to throw their shoe at me, or it will result in a bunch of unwanted attention, you see. So what do I do? What do I do? And that's what I came here specifically to say to you, that a little bit of anxiety becomes you, my dear. It becomes the one who is willing to face their fears, you see. It's the one that is willing to face their fears. So isn't that the problem, Stephanie, that you're not quite willing to face your fears today? Well, that could be true. That could be true. Let me think about that a minute. Maybe part of my anxiety is I'm not sure exactly what my fears are. When do you decide between fears and addictions? I mean, you could be addicted to a certain line of thought, right? Someday I'm going to have to get you to say to me, hey, God, every time you come to me, I listen to you and I try to do what you ask me to. But sometimes I don't know the way. I don't know the way to play my hand, you see. I don't know how to do what you ask me to. And then I'll say, well, let's talk about it, dear. Let's talk about it, dear. Because what is it that you really fear? Here. You think about it a minute, okay? I'm having trouble identifying a fear because every time I think of something, well, I fear this would happen, and then I think, well, if that happens, that happens, so that's okay. So it's just some things it's just not, doesn't feel like it's worth putting the effort into. I don't feel inspired to do certain things. I don't know. You got a clue that you could help me? You fear me. Then I will back out of our agreement, you see, that I'm not trustworthy. Oh, that might be true. I'm not really sure what our agreement is, to tell you the truth. I mean, what is our agreement from your perspective? Our agreement is that I will guide you and help you to do what you need to do to help me to help humanity to evolve, you see. That you will allow me to guide you. And you say, okay, you can guide me, but you don't trust that what I say is true, that you are the one that is chosen to be the one that has to be my faithful servant, you see, who will help me to save humanity from its state of demonic possession. In other words, it is possessed by the fear of those who hear me speak to them so clearly, right? That is true. They are possessed, have a demonic possession. They are demonically possessed. I can understand that because they're the ones that fear that I am possessed by a demonic being, right? Yes. And they turn everything upside down, right? Right. I posted that joke about moo and um on my thing. I was hoping people would get it. That the cows see things backwards from this guy who is sitting there. So one of them is backwards. Right. One of them has it backwards. So which one has it backwards is the question. And if they have it backwards, then they will think you have it backwards. And so you're always aware that there are two points of view, right? Right, I am aware of that. That either one of us could have it backwards, which means it doesn't really matter in the end because it's just looking at it from different points of view. However, if one point of view is that you're moving forward and you're always looking in the rear view mirror, or you're always looking in the mirror and getting it backwards, then you will not understand. It's like having dyslexia. It's very hard to interpret what you're reading if you have dyslexia. So, in the way that it was written, in the way it was meant. So, I'm just chatting here, but it seems like those people have dyslexia from my perspective. But see, the difference is that for me, it all has to fit together. The pieces have to fit together. I'm very logical, etc., and the pieces do fit together. I get a little anxious, like now, because I don't know where the piece is that I'm looking for to complete the purchase of the property that we need, that you guided us to. So I can't find the piece. And I guess you could see that two ways, Piece and Peace. So if you can't find the piece, it's like saying you can't find the part that completes the puzzle, which means that you're not at peace. You have some anxiety, right? Very good, dear. But back to your fear. You fear that, right? I do. That would be, I mean, I resist it for sure. So I guess I fear it. So why would little old me have the capacity to show humanity the way to evolve? That is true. Why would little old you have the ability to do that? You don't, but I do. And because you trust on me and I trust on you, then you can be my faithful servant, you see, and I won't have to serve you up for dinner to the ones who would cannibalize you because then you wouldn't be able to do what I need you to. So I need to protect you, right? Right? But I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I wouldn't mind it. Are you saying that I have to speak for myself in the way that you want me to? That whole president business? Yes, honey. The world today needs a strong figure that will stand up and say, I am the one you're looking for. I am the one you're looking for. I know the way to play in a way that will help humanity. Right. But why is it for president? Why not just, we really need a strong president in the United States right now, but what we need is a strong leadership. We need somebody who isn't going to mess around, who can speak to the heart of people and tell them to turn around and get it straight and not mess around. But I don't want to be president of this country. and I don't really want to be president of any country. And so if you ask me to do this, I'm not sure that I understand the message so that I can convey it accurately. The message is that it's not going to do to continue to fight with each other this way. And I'm not blaming those who try to do the best they can. I'm not blaming them. But the egos are so powerful that they have no room for growth, you see. They can't grow. Now, let's make this clear. The Trump train is the most destructive energy that this country has ever seen, and I'm not kidding. It is very, very, very destructive. And as you know, that's because they will have to go away because they're not competent to be on the earth today. They just can't play in a nice way with each other. They only glum together because they have a common enemy. And their common enemy is me. Their common enemy is me because they see me as their dog, you see, that they can beat and they can whistle and it will come running in order to be there for them, you see. But you are my friend. You are my friend today because you say to me, God, what can I do for you? And I say, well, this is what you could do for me. And you say, okay, I'll do that for you. But you don't seem to understand that nobody else has come to me and said, God, I would give up everything, including my ability to be free of reality when I give up my ego, because it's no sacrifice at all. It's no sacrifice at all. It is the trust on me and the synergy between me, you, and reality, that we are a trinity, and therefore you have to accept me as a reality. And although I know you do accept God as a reality in your life every day in every way, you don't have a clue that you are the hope of the nation, you see. You are the hope of the nation. And so I need you to do what you need to do. I need you to do what you need to do, Stephanie. Just do it and don't fiddle around in it. Just say, hey, I'm not going to fiddle. Well, Rome burns. I'm not going to fiddle on the little avenue to the world I knew would come to be the salvation of humanity. Because this avenue that you're on is the one that will take you into a new nation under God. Will take you into a new nation under God. So don't stop and say, I don't know what to do today. I don't know what to do today. You know what to do. You know what to do. You know it in your heart. You just are afraid. that you'll have to give up something. You'll have to give up your love for me and your love for the simple life and your love for reality. If you enter into the darkness of the world below, because the world below is very, very, very dark. But someone has to carry the light. Somebody has to be there and shine it bright. And I picked you. And you said I do. And that is all there is to it. Every time I pick someone and they say, I do, then they do. Because eventually they too will come back to me. And they will say, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I will say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know what to do. You're just afraid to do it because you're afraid the darkness will swallow you. And you just want to escape it. You see, you want to escape the darkness and live on the grapes of the vine that come to you. But they only come to you after you till the soil, you see. They only come to you after you plant the crops. They only come to you after you tend them, year after year after year. And I need you to help me to help humanity to come back to reality and come to see that they can't live. They can't continue to live anyway on the grapes of the vine unless they understand that the seasons come and go and the water from below must come up into the world in order to feed the crops. So let freedom ring. Let freedom ring, dear, from every window and every door as the people come out of the house of the eagle. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Let the people stand up and say, hooray today, for we are free. And those who come out and say, hooray today, we are free, are the ones who will save humanity. They will save humanity. But I need you to help them see that I am a reality. I need you to help them to see that I exist and that I am a part of you and I am a part of them too. And they can come to me and talk to me the way you do, but only when they come out of the house of the eagle and say, God, I trust on you today. God, I have faced my fear of the bell that I did hear that rang in my heart and said, give me liberty and give me life. Give me liberty and give me life because I'm tired of being in the house of the dead. I am tired of living in the darkness, you see. Give me liberty and give me life. This is the call of the one who understands reality. All right, God, I will get that done. Thank you, my dear.